Welcome to the Cantacuzino Castle. It is situated inUstini, Romania, in the Zamora district, in the street bearing the same name. The building has a great architectural, historical, documentary, and artistic value. It is in the country of Romania, and the history of the castle is in which the building, whose construction was completed in 1911. It was conducted by the architect Grigore Sergis, a prominent figure of the Neo-Romanian style, at the request of Prince George Grigore Cantacuzino, who was nicknamed Nababu. The castle was placed in the site of an old hunting lodge that the Prince family had used as a hut during their pilgrimage to Brasov. The construction works lasted for 5 years and the furnishing lasted another year and a half at the inauguration in 1911. The castle impressed not only by its style and beauty, but also by its modern facilities in relation to the times, benefiting from electricity, sewage system, and drinking water. Until 1930, the castle served as the summer residence of the family of Prince Grigore Cantacuzino. The castle belonged to the Cantacuzino family until its nationalization in 1948, then became a sanatorium of the Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Hello. Harap mo yan. Hindi, harap mo sa kabayo.
We're here in horse riding.
Another story.
Horse riding in Predil. Predil, ano ba ito?
May video kita?
Ay, the wolf. Ito.
Yung kamay ko.
Okay, gata. Gata na yung tayo na.
Ay, tapos lang dyan ang palit na ako kung mamaya mga pera. Ito lang yung palit natin.
Ganda na kabayo.
Wala kasi yung ano eh, Siberian Husky. Siberian Husky dog. Kaya horse riding na lang. Okay. We are now going inside the Cantacuzino Castle. Oh, the friendship are here. See? This is where the filming of the Wednesday movie, Nevermore Academy. Welcome to the castle. Cantacuzino. Yes. Welcome to my life, guys. Cantacuzino Castle.
It's a snowy afternoon in Cantacuzino, Bustini, Romania. It's -5 degrees. Now we are going up the
Paket na kami.
Cantacuzino Castle and we will see inside. What's inside we will see.
Going up the Wednesday Academy Castle, Cantacuzino.
The building was made of carved stone on the outside and brick on the inside. The foundation is made of concrete and the roof is made of tile. The construction is of the pavilion type, having the shape of a quadrilateral with the southern side open. The entire castle consists of 4 bodies. The central pavilion has a floor area of 1,200.30 meters and 3,148.2 meters. In total, basement, ground floor, and first floor. The service pavilion
This is the
has
filming of
ground
the
floor and the
movie.
first floor
Wednesday.
covering an area of 403.80 meters. The administrative villa has one single level of 114.41 meters. The fourth building is the chapel. Outside the castle, above the main entrance from the park, is the emblem of the Cantacuzino family,
Ang ganda.
carved in stone. The main entrance from the park also has a large entrance made of stone, which has view of the Busigi Mountains, along with the Hero's Cross on Kamayman Peak.
Ganda.
On the same side of the castle, on the first floor, is located the lodge of the Cantacuzino Castle, built in Brancoviano style, bearing stone columns with capitals and trilobate arches. In this lodge, in 1928, Queen Maria of Romania, Princess Iliana, and the first Patriarch of Romania, Miron Cristia, were photographed together with the groom and bride George Cantacuzino, the grandson of the Babu and one of the great archaeologists of Romania, and Sue Graciano, daughter of some aristocrats of the time. In 1923, a tribute to Prince Grigor Cantacuzino above the entrance to the inner courtyard of the castle, the following text was carved in stone. 1. Grigor Cantacuzino with his wife, Caterina born Baliano, built this castle in memory of the ancestors and for the shelter of the descendants. In the inner courtyard of the castle on the east side, there is a hunting tower.
Imperial chair. No, I just made Imperial chair daw.
Okay, so can I have your attention, please? Thank you. Hello and welcome to Cantacuzino Castle. My name is Gabriel and I'm going to be your guide. And let's start with a brief history of this beautiful place. This castle was built between 1901 and 1911 by the Prince Gheorghe Grigore Cantacuzino, the one in the top painting, and he was the richest man in Romania at the beginning of 20th century. The castle was used also, as I said, as a summer residence until 1948. It was confiscated by the communist government, and from that moment on, all the valuable goods were stolen from here. So unfortunately, all the furniture, almost all of the lights, we have a single original chandelier left in this castle, disappeared. Also, very expensive books and tapestries were stolen, and unfortunately nothing was recovered during the time. In 2004, the castle was given back to Cantacuzino family, but the lady who took it, Ioana Cantacuzino, she was too old and she had no children, so she was forced to sell this domain. In 2008, the castle was bought by the actual owner, a private company, and from 2010 it was opened to the public. And Gheorghe Grigore Cantacuzino, as I said, was the richest man in Romania at that time, and also was one of the greatest politicians that Romania had at the beginning of 20th century. He was the mayor of Bucharest, our capital, also he was a minister in few governments and the prime minister of Romania for 2 times. Unfortunately, he died in 1913, so at only 2 years after this building was finished, so he didn't enjoy so much his summer residence here in Ușteni. And the castle, this castle even looks big from outside. Actually, it has only 2 plans or 2 floors. The ground floor and the first floor. The ground floor, where we are now, it was dedicated to private events and parties and guests arriving, and upstairs it was the private space of Cantacuzino family. And we are now, in this moment, in the main lobby. In this place, all the important guests were welcomed, and we are sitting on an absolutely original floor. It's a floor which survived from 1911, and it's made from ceramic-coated tiles brought from Italy. And as you can see, the central part of this floor, it's decorated with these floral motifs, but on the edge, on the brown edge, you will find few symbols, and that's because all the castle is full with this kind of symbols. And we can see here the dragon, which is the symbol of power and sovereignty, and also we have the grape and the vine, which are the symbols of wealth. All the doors downstairs are the original one, are made from oak wood, and they were hand carved. And all the ironworks was customized in Paris, and on the door knobs and on the windows handles you will see Prince Cantacuzino initials and a few other symbols, and I can mention here the royal crown. But unfortunately not all the ironworks survived as original, as you can see. The stained glass are made from Murano glass and are original in 95-96%. And all the stained glass in the castle are decorated with this kind of motifs, which is the Celtic knot. The Celtic knot is a symbol of infinite this time, but also on the stained glass you will find few animal-shaped forms. For example, on top of the central doors, you will find two peacocks sitting one in front of each other, and between their heads the peacocks are holding a royal lily or a fleur de lis, and we have two symbols there again. The peacock is the symbol of greatness, and it will be everywhere in this castle, and the royal lily or the fleur de lis, it's one of the symbols of royalty. Unfortunately, the original wall paint was lost, and that's because during the communist times the walls were painted in several layers of oil paint. But the only original part to survive the communists is the frieze. Those colored stripes around the room on top of the wall. The frieze is making an artistic transition from the ceiling, from the wall to the ceiling, and we have an absolutely original ceiling made from oak wood. The fireplaces downstairs are decorated with floral motifs and the multicolored mosaic area. And what you see is shining in the mosaic area, it's the gold leaf. All the fireplaces downstairs are decorated with a gold leaf. And if you ask yourself how the gold leaf survived the communist times, well, they didn't. The gold leaf on the fireplaces was added at the first restoration of this castle in 1994. And in 1911, when the castle was built, on the fireplace there was no gold leaf. There was gold plaques, which means there was a lot more gold than now. And all the fireplaces are made downstairs are made from a single block of limestone, which means those blocks of limestone were carved exactly on the position here. In the room on my right side, it was the appointment room for Prince Cantacuzino. Sorry, excuse me please. And in this room here we have some furniture, but unfortunately it's not the original furniture. As I told you a few minutes ago, the communists stole everything from this castle. And this furniture here is a furniture from the end of 19th century, beginning of 20th century. It was a donation by one of the Cantacuzino family members to this castle. Also here, you will see a frieze decorated again with peacocks, the symbol of greatness, and the ceiling is made from oak wood, but it's painted this time in white and green. On the green side, you will see the Celtic knot, the symbol of infinite, in two variations. And on the right side wall, you will find few areas with the original wall paint. Those areas were uncovered for restoration purposes, just to see what's the shape of the original paint and how many layers of oil paint we have on top. And depending on the room, we have from 3 to 9 layers of oil paint on top of the original paint of the walls. So I will invite you to have a look in this room quickly and without crossing the red barrier, and after that we will go for it. In the next two rooms, but we are such a big group and the space is really tiny. And just a second, I'll do a short presentation for the next two rooms, and I will wait for you in the ballroom. Yeah. So here was the Prince Cantacuzino's office. We have a photo gallery. On the right side wall, you will find the family of Prince Cantacuzino. The second wife is first from the left. Then we have 5 from the 8 children and Prince Cantacuzino in the first picture on the right side. On the opposite wall, actually behind this door, you will find 3 pictures made at a wedding in 1928. The wedding between Grigore Cantacuzino, Prince Cantacuzino's nephew, and Zoe Grecianu. She was the last person who stayed actually in this castle before the communists came in 1948. The stained glass on the office are decorated in the same style as the doors. You will see the family coat of arms with the royal crown, and underneath is written in Latin language "Quae nocent docent," which was the motto of this family. And this motto of this family can be translated with floral motifs, and on the frieze you will find stylish peacocks. A similar ceiling and a similar frieze you will find in the next room, which actually is smaller than this one. And there it was the library of this castle. And in the library here in 1947, there were 129 books in Prince Cantacuzino's collection. There were not so many, but they were very rare books and very expensive. And unfortunately, everything was stolen by the communists in 1948. So I will invite you to discover those two rooms, and I will wait for you in the ballroom.
Okay. Welcome to the second room. The relatives of the owner of the castle. The sala of the castle. And the ballroom.
Pwede na tayo mag-ballroom.
Pwede na tayo mag-ballroom.
Part 1.
The ballroom. Yes?
Let's speak a few words about this room. And this room was the ballroom, and it's the most beautiful decorated room in this castle. And we have here two unique galleries in the area. And the first one I want to speak about is one on the eastern wall. So I will invite you on my right side just to see what I'm talking about. In this gallery here, you can see 12 of the Prince Cantacuzino Castle. There are paintings
The paintings of the owner of the castle.
style. All those 12 paintings are actually original and not restored. Even if I tell you 2 minutes ago that the walls were painted with the mountain styles and the walls also were painted here, and you will ask how those paintings remain original if the walls were painted. In this room, somebody, and we will never know who, had a brilliant idea to protect those paintings with a layer of paper and then with a layer of fabric. And on top they just put plaster.
Cantacuzino.
And on top of the
With the
plaster they put
Cantacuzino.
oil paint. So at the
Mario
first restoration
Dominas
in
put,
1994, those 12 paintings appears exactly like you see them now. On the other 3 walls, we have at the same level another unique gallery in Romania. It's a heraldry gallery, and we have here 27 coat of arms for the families related with Prince Cantacuzino. And the most important ones are the one on the northern wall. We have 3 imperial coat of arms there. And when I'm saying imperial, I'm speaking about the Byzantine Empire, where Cantacuzino, Paleologu, and Comnen were families who gave emperors on the Byzantine Empire. Also here in the ballroom, we have the only original light left in this castle. It's a chandelier which was cast in Paris. It's made from bronze, and it's created in a neo-Byzantine style. It's imitating the chandeliers in the biggest Byzantine cathedrals. Unfortunately, this chandelier is not complete because before the communists came, before 1947, it had another decoration on the bottom, a bowl connected with chains by the main body of the chandelier. Unfortunately, that decoration disappeared and nobody knows what's happened with it. But the chandelier, as we see them now, it weighs only 1.5 tons, and it's not connected to the ceiling of the room. It's connected straight to the castle's roof. The fireplace here is the most beautiful decorated fireplace in this castle, and we have here an area of multicolored mosaic, which is recovered with a lot of gold leaf. And in the central part we have 2 stylish peacocks, the symbol of greatness, But if you look along that area, you can imagine two owls on this area. One owl to the right and one owl to the left, where the eyes of the owl are those two flowers, the nose is the blue part, and the eyebrows, those royal lilies. The owl is a symbol of wisdom, but also it was one of the symbols used by a Masonic lodge where Prince Cantacuzino was a member, a Masonic lodge which actually is still running even today in Romania. And speaking of Masonic symbols, the stars on the floors are named diamond points and are symbol of universe for the Masons. Also, all the wooden floor in this castle survived the original one, so this year they have only 112 years old.
Wow,
The stained glass.
112 years old.
The stained glass are the most beautiful decorated stained glass in this castle. They are created also in a Byzantine style.
Silencio.
And on the top we have another ancestors of Prince Cantacuzino, but unfortunately the stained glass with the faces of ancestors are not the original anymore, because the original were destroyed by the communists in 1948, so we just replaced it. I can mention here Constantin Cantacuzino. He created the first map of Wallachia, and this happened in 1700 in Padova in Italy because he studied there. Also on 7th of June 1716, Constantin Cantacuzino and his son Stefan Vodă Cantacuzino, the fourth on the right side on the eastern wall, they died together, beheaded at Istanbul. It was the capital of Ottoman Empire. And before going to the next room, in this picture here, we have the ballroom in 1928. And what can we see here? First, we see the decoration missing from the bottom part of the chandelier, that bow that I told you about. And also, we can see here 3 empty areas. They are the same empty areas that we have today on the northern wall. And that's because there was nothing painted ever. They're supposed to be painted the first member of family, of Cantacuzino family, which appears in history, but the painters had no inspiration sources, so the prince and the painters decided to leave those areas completely empty. Also, those 12 paintings on the eastern wall are inspired from churches and monasteries from 16th and 17th century. Follow me please for the next room. Room was the dining room, and actually it's the only room in the castle which had the same destination for all the years, and that's because underneath it was the kitchen, and I guess you can smell light smell of food. It's not what is the original smell. The kitchen is still running even today. And all the years when here it was a dining room, means a lot of food steam and definitely cigarette smokes, and in the time there were a lot of damages here. Before restoration, the ceiling was completely black, totally smoked, and the frieze was looking exactly like the destroyed part on the top of the fireplace. On the frieze here, we have 2 brand new symbols, the lion and the deer, which means the masculinity and the femininity, and we have again the grey as the symbol of wealth. The fireplace is the smallest fireplace in this castle, but same as beautiful decorated. We have again a multicolored mosaic area and floral motifs, but on the corners of the mosaic area you can see here the Byzantine cross or the Greek cross covered in the gold leaf. And here in the picture in the front, we don't have this room, so I will have to ask you to make a step back. In this room here, we have the Transylvanian Saloon. It was the private living room of Cantacuzino family. It was located upstairs, and it was named Transylvanian Saloon because all the furniture and all the decoration from that room came, of course, from Transylvania. And we can see here a table with wooden chairs, very simple but beautiful decorated. Also, we have a traditional carpet on the floor and the chandeliers, the lights. We still have this kind of chandeliers in Romania. It's the wagon wheel with electricity. And that's because since the beginning, since 1911, the castle had electricity, running water, and the proper sewer system. In 1914, they added here a phone line, and in 1930, they added a boiler for heating. And after that, the communists came, and during the communist times, 40 years, here it was a military hospital run by the Romanian Minister of the Internal Affairs. And this castle is supposed to be a part of a competition between Prince Cantacuzino and the Romanian King Carol I. So what was the subject of these competitions? Well, who had the more mountains in their property and who had the most beautiful castle. And this castle was the reply given by Prince Cantacuzino to Romanian King Carol I for Peles Castle in Sinaia. And one of the greatest Romanian historians said once, quoting the Prince Cantacuzino, who said, every morning when I'm going out on the terrace to have my coffee, I'm feeling very happy because I have a view 10 times more beautiful than King Carol I of Romania when he's going out on his terrace and he's speaking about the Peles Castle in Sinaia. Have you been to Peles?
Not yet.
It's a totally different thing. You can see there is a royal family and they have absolutely no metallic nails. And also, as you can see, those stairs have no support. It's an absolute independent structure inside those buildings. It's created in a domino style. What domino style means? Every section of those stairs are leaving its weight on the previous one. So as a full construction, it's holding its own weight and a lot of people, let's say. But if somebody try to steal a section from those stairs, and it doesn't matter if it's one of the rest or one of the steps, everything what's on top of that segment removed, it will collapse instantly because it's an independent structure inside those inside those walls, which means it's not connected to the walls. It's just laying on that, and as long as you are on it, those stairs, even if they have a higher weight on it, they will be very strict, very let me find the word, please. Very stiff in the walls, so it's absolutely no problem. Follow it, please.
Parang kinakabahan.
Matibay naman. Kita kami. Aray.
Ano parang ang picture?
Wow.
They are coming now here. Ano din pala sila ano? May walis din pala sa sasakyan.
Okay, come in this room, please, and let's speak about the first floor. The first floor of the castle, it was, as I said at the beginning, it was the private space of Cantacuzino family. And we have here 4 bedrooms around the Transylvanian saloon, which was the private living room of the family that I told you about in the dining room. And you will see here in a few moments that we don't have such a luxury like we had downstairs. Actually, the luxury is gone here. We have the wooden ceiling, but only in the living room. The bedrooms, they have normal and very simple ceilings. Also, all the stained glass at the first floor are much simple and not so colored as the one downstairs, and all wooden doors are replaced by simple but beautiful pine doors, and those are the original doors of the castle. Unfortunately, the ironworks didn't survive as original. Here we have only few items remain original. And upstairs we have an exhibition. The castle is holding a temporary exhibition. In this time we have Goya and Dali Controversial. It's an exhibition made with the help of one of the greatest Romanian art collectors, George Șerban. And it's of course about Salvador Dali, and I guess you heard about Salvador Dali, and Francisco de Goya, which was one of the greatest artists in Spain's history and also in European art histories of art. Yeah? And in those 2 rooms in front of me, you will find a series named Tauromaquia. Tauromaquia translated means fighting with a bull, or corrida, which was a Spanish thing, a traditional thing in Spain. And in those 2 rooms you will find 26 etchings made by Francisco de Goya, and every of those etchings are showing a sequence from corrida, from this bullfighting. In the room on my left side you will find another series made by Francisco de Goya. It's named Caprices, and it's showing the degradation of the Spanish society at the end of 18th, beginning of 19th century. And in this room here, you will find 14 reproductions made by Salvador Dali. Reproduction from the etchings on the Caprices series, and all those 14 reproductions are absolutely original etchings made by Salvador Dali, which means are also very, very expensive. In those etchings here, you will find color, because Dali break the monochromy of some small panels, this side, 1 meter and something. They have a picture from Wednesday and a QR code. If you scan that QR code, you're going to be taken in a YouTube video clip, of course from Wednesday, filmed exactly from your position. And we have 4 or 5 this kind of panels, which respects the position of cameras during the filming. Also, it's a bit snowy now, but it's winter. On the right side of the backyard, you will see some targets. Yeah, it was the archery range there. They filmed when Wednesday was shooting with a crossbow, and those are the original props because they use our props for the adventure park. So those haze and the targets were there since the filming in 2021. Unfortunately, as I told you now, I'm going to repeat myself, nothing from the inside of that movie. It was filmed in Cantacuzino Castle. And I really hope you understood my English. I really hope you enjoyed the tour here. Thank you for your time and for your visit. And one day, I really hope to see you again. Have a good day.
Thank you.
May utang pa ako sa'yo, di ba? Di man makatarwa, magbigay ako.
We finished our lessons for today and we are going out.
Edit na lang pala ang ginawa nila. Malalit na naman. Saan? Malamig. Lalabas na tayo.
During the period when the building served as a sanatorium, the walls were painted evenly. After the restitution, a restoration process began in order to uncover the original paintings. During the post-communist period, the castle was returned to the Derek Harris. Ayun na Cantacuzino, the nabob's great-granddaughter. The castle is now privately owned and has been open to the public since 2010. Cantacuzino Castle has since then received tens of thousands of visitors annually, both from within the country and abroad. Tourists can visit the courtyard, which contains various sculptures. They also have access at the interior of the castle through daily guided tours. Since 2015, the upper floor of the castle hosts an art gallery which periodically displays exhibitions with works by several artists. In addition to the traditional elements since 2016, the castle courtyard hosts an adventure park for children and parents, as well as two restaurants, with a terrace opened in 2012 and 2020 respectively. In 2020, the castle was filming location for the Netflix series Wednesday. Thank you for supporting my work, and thank you to the group cultural tour Filipino Free Movement of Romania.